A number of recent departures from HaysMed have taken some people and patients living in and around the city by surprise. It's leading to concerns about continuity of care and a desire for answers about what's happening. This month, the HaysMed Board of Directors released a statement saying its turnover is on par with the state average and it's committed to providing care. For this Fact Finder investigation, Sean Logging speaks with patients and community members who are seeing and feeling the changes and the message from the hospital.
The care received at HaysMed is life-saving. Ask Jody Ware like her. For her, it was cancer.
I had been in and out of the hospital, not knowing I had a small bowel obstruction.
The two doctors she credits with saving her life, one has left and the other will be leaving.
Dr. Rodriguez and Dr. Grove, and I don't know what I'd do without either one of them.
Luke Hackmaster says 20 years ago he was brought to this hospital after an accident for life-saving care. And more recently, this place was critical for his wife and two kids.
I had emergency C-sections, and having access to specialists and doctors that you care and you trust, that's critical for living in an area like this.
He too can list specialists who have recently left HaysMed.
I've lost my urologist, I've lost my pulmonologist, a surgeon that's operated on me, the doctor that delivered one of my babies. I've had family members that's lost members of their oncology team. It kind of goes on and on.
It leaves them wondering.
I understand that doctors sometimes leave or are replaced for whatever reason, but when you've had, pretty much all of your doctors had that happen to, you worry about the quality of care that you're going to receive.
Begging the question, why?
The community has so many questions.
To lose so many providers and not be given clarity or answers is quite concerning.
The concern being raised by a number of patients, community members, and other healthcare providers, including those who have left HaysMed.
That letter is the only letter that I've gotten in regards to any of my doctors leaving or potentially leaving, and unfortunately it's one of those things where social media and all that, there's lots of speculation, but there's been very little of actual useful information that's originated from the hospital.
In a December 5th statement, the hospital's board of directors addressing some of those concerns. On turnover, the statement reads, in 2024, HaysMed had a total of 10 physicians leave the community, but during the same time frame contracted with 20 new physicians to join our medical staff. Pointing to data from the Kansas Hospital Association, HaysMed says the statewide physician turnover rate is 11%. That matches the hospital. It should be noted there's a lawsuit filed by Dr. Jared Grove. He said a lot of staff has left, 15 doctors gone this year, including him. The board statement adding with the current situations, they have to make tough decisions, including on provider contracts, saying we do not have the luxury of making decisions based on the wants and needs of a particular individual. We must make our decisions based on what's best for HaysMed and our patients. However, the perspective on the path forward leaves some in the community feeling frustrated.
The leadership is not going in the right direction. And I don't know if it's one person to blame or multiple people, but there is a huge issue and it needs to be handled.
The community will stand behind them if we can really not get a BS answer.
Patients eyeing the future wondering what's next with aspects like continuity of care.
It's just that rapport that you have, and they know where you've been. You've been in their office so many times. I mean, I've been in his office just so many times.
The statement from HaysMed's board ended by saying we are deeply committed to the well-being of our community, region, our associates, and our patients. I also spoke with the hospital about how they're working to help patients who may have had their provider leave to provide continuity and uninterrupted care. A spokesperson says recent physician departures have not impacted HaysMed's ability to serve the community's needs. Every department has doctors available to see patients.
As we've also reported, physicians at HaysMed, Drs. Grove and Rodriguez, sued the hospital to stop enforcement of their non-competes. But this past week, they and HaysMed say they'll meet to resolve the issue. We are exploring the topic of restrictive covenants next weekend.